have to tell you, I am really surprised with Eson. And yesterday we talked about Agamotto at length. I think the card is very fascinating. Eson is really interesting in its own right as well. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that are thinking that Eson is going to be the weaker of the two. But we're recording this the next day. And we're seeing some very interesting statistics coming out early on during the kind of cube rate early leveling process towards infinite that might suggest that Eson is a lot more powerful than people were originally giving it credit for. As always, I always suggest you wait towards the end of the week to get kind of a good indication statistically of how a card's doing. Save your resources, as they like to say. Actually, on the note of resources, if you don't want to spend Spotlight Cash keys and you don't want to spend tokens on Eson, there's something interesting you can do. You can actually hit it using the unowned Series 4 and 5 in the current mode happening, the Sanctum Showdown. And if you have everything else in your entire collection and you're just missing Eson, you'll hit it. I'll play the clip of me learning that live. All right, for the science, we're going to check if we're completely collection complete and we purchase an unowned Series 4 and 5 card using gold to kind of like make up for the extra here. Does it give us the card? Oh man, if I get scammed here, it's going to feel so bad. Oh. Success. It works. So as you can see, you can actually get Eson for a relatively inexpensive cost gold-wise, and well, if you have enough of the charms, you can just use the charms. But yeah, it actually is in the unowned 4 and 5 pool, which is a lot cheaper than the equivalent of tokens or Spotlight Cash Key. So it's an option, right? You got a third option there, which is kind of interesting and not always present. With regards to the card itself, though, I came away pretty impressed. If you play it on turn 6 and it pulls one card down, yes, it's powerful, and yes, it's already a 6/10, and it's just free real estate at that point. But what I found particularly interesting was that jumping through the hoops of having created cards and then ramping it out did feel like a lot sometimes. However, you didn't always have to ramp this out. And even just playing Arishem and getting it out on turn 5, like a turn early, then having it pull stuff down, is usually enough. We find this often with Marvel Snap. When you have a card with a specific type of playstyle and you lean into that playstyle so aggressively that it kind of compromises the rest of the deck. With Eson, we're finding that he's getting enough value if you don't wave him out and try to sneak him out earlier. Just do your game plan, play good cards, and let Eson generate value for you. I will also say Eson, I actually am not entirely sure how to say this name. I've been corrected like 6 different ways, so I'm just going to keep saying random stuff. However, the card honestly has impressed me. With regards to whether or not it's worth your tokens and your resources, as always, you always wait towards that end of the week. I think it's incredibly important you see how it's performing, but early statistics are showcasing that it is doing really well. Let's talk some decks here, and specifically the cube rates. When talking about the decks, we're going to be focusing on the cube rate. It is the first week of the season, so a lot of people are ranking up towards infinite. We use cube rate as well because, I mean, all the win rates are above 60%, generally speaking, and the cube rate's a good indicating factor of how well you can, well, get to infinite. And yes, you're farming on bots, but everyone is, right? So whether you're against bots or not, the cube rate is a valuable metric during this first season. Now, 2 of the 5 decks I'm going to show you are mine, and they're actually performing pretty good from a statistics-based perspective. This is mine. I created an Eson Hand Generation deck. It's running a 0.78 cube rate, and it was good. And I like the interaction of Fastos discounting the Agamotto spells, and obviously with Eson coming out, you could ramp it out even with the likes of something like a Penny Parker. You can discount it with Fastos. There's lots of opportunities here, and obviously you got the Wiccan. I liked it a lot, and it was a good deck, but there are a couple higher performing ones. But this one here had the Fastos, and I thought that was kind of interesting in the way that it played, and the Quicksilver Wiccan stuff I think works generally pretty well. There was also my Eson Ari Doom deck. This is running a slightly higher cube rate at 0.082. I think it's pretty strong. It's been reliably performing. It's running Arishem, it's running Agamotto, it's running Doom 2099. Very susceptible to the anti-meta stuff that we're seeing there, especially with the Cassandra Novas, the Darkhawks, and everything. We'll be discussing that shortly. But honestly, it's a deck that works. I felt like I had a million options as I was going towards the later turns. I wanted to showcase it to you, and Nick Fury really does stand out as an absolute winner here. So this is a good option if you're looking to do a little bit of, Doom 2099, Arishem, and Eson. And then we're going to go into the highest performers. Now, these are not of my design. These are from Untapped-based statistics. This one here is another Arishem-based shell. Very similar to what I have, but this one does not have the Doom 2099. It's running the Gorgon tech and Mobius and Mobius, which I found to be particularly fascinating. This also has Galacta in it. performing very well at a 0.84 cube rate. I'll have all these linked in the description if you're interested in checking it out. So this is a much more traditional Arishem shell, because a lot of the most highest performing Arishem shells ironically have been the Doom 2099 ones. However, now we're seeing a kind of shift away from that and more of a tech focus, which I think is really interesting. So let's actually move on to the next deck here, which is going to be an extremely high performing one. And the top shell is only ever slightly higher performing. Once again, you do have a lot of tech pieces here. You have the Mobius, you have the Enchantress, you have the Lady Deathstrike, you have the Legion, Alioth. But then you're just using Eson, and you're like, well, Alex, like, what's Eson for? Well, you got the Valentina, you got the Iron Patriot. I'm going to tell you that in my testing, which I've been playing quite a bit, Iron Patriot feels like hit and miss. Like, yeah, you're generating something, you don't have to commit to the location, but if you do win the location, like, Eson pulling the Iron Patriot card feels bad because it's usually free or super cheap, so you want to play it yourself. But Nick Fury gives you a bunch of great options, and what's awesome about Arishem and Nick Fury is he plays naturally on turn 3, right? Because of that ramped effect. LDS doing a great job, like from a standpoint of tech. Like I'm often surprised at how nice it is to play LDS, and keep in mind LDS will take out a Gorgon if that is something that you feel you need to do. So you have those options as well. This is currently running a 1.03 cube rate, so significantly higher than the others. And I think it's the tech factor that's particularly helpful here. And it should not surprise you that the tech part is actually really relevant right now in the first early couple days of the meta, because at a 1.05 cube rate, we do have Eson Gorgon. Now, what's really important about this is that this deck does not feature Arishem. It also does not feature Agamotto. This is a Victoria hand deck to stand on its own with Eson, and I found that to be very fascinating because it's like, it's just the card. So if you're someone who's free to play and you had a cash and you rolled it and you hit the Eson, or you had the charms to spend or whatever, the tokens, this is pretty interesting. Now, it also features Gorgon, of course, and Gorgon's really interesting from a tech perspective, and I think one of the reasons why the cube rate is so good is because with Eson, you are actually counterplaying the mirror matches using Gorgon, right? And everyone else is being greedier. You're playing Gorgon, so you have the leg up in the mirror match. White Queens felt really good. Obviously, you have the Quicksilver Wiccan, and I like the Quicksilver Wiccan because it conserves some of the deck slots, trying to still get that ramp effect out, because ramping Eson is still pretty preferable, especially when you have something like a White Queen available to you. Copycat is really fascinating because, like, you can, you know, hit some very interesting stuff in their deck and surprise them with that 3/5 power. But ultimately, like, it's just a good shell. It's a great shell. Eson's been great. And before I do my closing thoughts on Eson, I'll just show you an anti-meta deck. This is absolutely crushing. The win rate is like astronomical. It's like 65%. The cube rate, I think, was like 1.23. It was like stupid. It's actually the highest cube rate in the game right now because of its ability to just completely counter the meta. And wouldn't you believe it, it is a Darkhawk Ronin shell. And so if you're looking to absolutely pump your opponents and you don't want to play the new stuff, you can play this and get it done. But with regards to Eson itself, I gotta tell you, I do come away impressed with the card. My initial impressions were that perhaps it was going to underperform Agamotto, but I find it really interesting to see that currently, in terms of a cube rate perspective, some of the highest cube rate decks are not running Agamotto, but they are running Eson. And as a result, I think that, like, leaning into the weekend and as we get some more statistics, it'll be very interesting to see how that shakes up, how that relationship shakes up. Because for me, Agamotto feels like an extremely strong card, especially the wins where you -5 and move right, and obviously the replication of the mirror of icon, I should say, or I don't even know what's called mirror, I can't remember. But this card has stood, like, statistically above that, which is super fascinating to me. And so as a result, it is with some degree of confidence I say that, like, if you have the charms and you can get it for relatively inexpensive, like if you gap the charms and pay a little bit of gold, I think it's probably gonna be worth having in your collection. With regards to the spotlight caches and the tokens, it's always worth waiting towards the end of the week. I think those are much more of a committal from a resource perspective. But anyways, I came away really impressed with Eson. Like, honestly, way more impressed than I expected. And if it can breathe some life into the Victoria hand style archetype, then I think that's great, because keep in mind, if Eson pulls a card and Victoria Hand's ongoing effect, it'll buff the card that gets pulled. It's also worth noting that one of the things about Agamotto that is a fascinating interaction is that Eson and Agamotto do not work together with the mirror of icon, or whatever it's called, because those replicated cards did not get created in hand or whatever, and therefore they don't get buffed by the Victoria Hand. They're just going to be standard, right? So that is kind of a place where they kind of diverge from each other from a synergy standpoint. So it's worth noting. Ultimately, I like the card. What can I say? Just like I hope you'll like these gameplay highlights. Do Agamotto decks require Eson? I mean, it definitely looks like they potentially are very synergistic. That's certainly true. It wouldn't surprise me if the best Agamotto decks did have Eson in them. Like, absolutely could see that being the case. I feel like even though we have Eson in hand, we prioritize Fastos. Okay, Zola's kind of interesting, but Mindscape. Cringe. Awful. Awful location. Magic, please? Oh! They magicked for us. Very nice of them. Very, very nice of them. Very appreciative of that gameplay. Let's set up a position where we could change these with the spell. Even if it's just to a white queen 6 power, that's not bad. Copy Taskmaster, kind of useless. Wiccan, and not necessarily good for us here. Now we can Winds of Watum this. I don't know if we continue to generate cards though. This would fill our hand. Do we want to fill our hand? I don't know if we want to fill our hand. I don't know if we want to Wiccan either. Maybe we Wiccan just for the 6 power. This could potentially have been a snap condition. Because whatever their plan is probably just got messed up. Yeah, it got messed up. Oh! I'm not going to give them the juice. I'm not going to give them the Jeff and juice. Even though my mind's on my money and my money's on my Jeff. No, it's just going to pull something. Let's do this. Pump some rocks. Okay, they're still doing the Destroyer Nimrod play. Now, actually, I used to love that deck. Okay, we got some shield gameplay, which cannot be destroyed. Very nice. You love to see that. That's great. That's friggin' fantastic. Thank you for that game. I'm glad we're cooking, game. Thank you. Sincerely appreciate. We win this game because we replicate. No. Just in case Taskmaster gets pulled. We got to do this. Heroes never die. Let's go. There's 0 chance we win this game. Shongers? Cannibal? Whatever it is, it's Taskmaster. Bro. Shongers. Eson! Oh! The humanity! Absolutely unbelievable gameplay. Do I give him the Jeff? No, I'm just giving him the fist. I'm not going to Jeff and juice him, but that was absolutely insane. Eson with the Colson Shongers. Feast? Do I want to feast? I don't know. Because I have Iron Patriot, so I'm not sure if I want to play into that and then not have enough energy for everything else. Oh, we got some Scroll Girl gameplay. I see, Tim. I see what you're doing there, Tim. We wouldn't mind a rock, because we can maybe do something fun with the Agamotto stuff. We'll do this. White Queen, Fastos, Valentina, Asia. We have a lot of, like... Okay, banished card? Penny's dead? Something got banished. I don't know. It's not showing the animation. There's a couple big bugs happening right now. We're going into Otto's lab. Let's see if Otto's lab can make our dreams come true. It is going to be a wave play. Do we get Eson out nice and early with this wave play or what? I think we do. Let's get this snap going here. Got Images of Volcan as well. You'd love to see it. Do we go Eson? I think we go Eson mid here. I could play the Hulk. The problem is Eson will pull images guaranteed. Do I want to run that risk? I'm not convinced I do. What I might do instead is play Agamotto White Queen. Pump here. That's a lot of... is it worth it there? White Queen. Agamotto right, perhaps. And then we have the option of what we do next. I think this is worth playing. I think a 2-costed Hulk is good enough that pulling it with Eson is probably unnecessary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play Eson left, I think. Bro. We just got scammed. It's not the worst thing that could have happened, honestly. But it's not the greatest thing that could have happened. Got some extra energy. I was really looking forward to bringing that Hulk down, but... Or do whatever, replicating the Hulk. We just got their death, though. Still not bad. We got... Look at this energy. So much energy. We Eson... I think he's still Hulk. I think he is still Hulk. The thing is, like, if you Hulk Penny, Eson pulls... I mean, could pull death. We've already snapped. Let's do Eson Penny here. Because if we get the spider, it still maintains... It holds the space. Penny Parker's been great, because I think that, like, pulling spider in these, like, ramp situations works really nicely for Eson. Because it maintains the board space. But death is fine, too. Okay. There you go. We don't get the ramp, obviously, but get the extra power. And I have 12 energy. What am I going to do with 12 energy? So we win there no matter what. We move this here, I guess. Let's move this here. Swing with the Iron Lad and pull the Eson Death. They have to retreat, yeah. All right. Victory. That's what I expected. Good Eson game, though. Very good example of what Eson's capable of. I gotta win as fast as possible, or else we're gonna get smoked with an ad. Come on, Cloud. Player, isn't Cloud from some sort of Final Fantasy or something? Okay. Oh, we got the Bolts of Ballsack. Okay, let's do this. Iron Patriot. It's gonna move. And what's interesting, if they don't play now, the next card they play is gonna move from Animes, and it might make it so that it's an auto win here, because they won't be able to play. They'd have to play 2 cards. They can play. Okay. Okay, She-Hulk. Oh, buddy. She-Hulk's great with Surtur. Got some Colossus gameplay. Getting a plus. Oh, my. What? You have actually got to be kidding me. And, yo, this is scuffed. I can't even Watum the Colossus. This is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as shameful as this. I could... No, I gotta compete, man. But I can't win. If I bolt to Ballsack, I can... Oh, wait. I can get the Eson out early. Let's just get Eson out early. Do I get Eson out early? Or do I Surtur first? No. Bolts out. Bolts to the wall. Let's get Eson out early. Okay, listen. We're trying to test some new cards, damn it. Let's get Eson out early. Let's see if he pulls that She-Hulk, who might even be more expensive. It's a generated card. Classic Mr. Fantastic to pump Animes. Okay. Look at that. We have 8 energy. So much energy, I don't even know what to do with it. It's too much energy. It's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable amount of energy. Now, we have the She-Hulk. We have Winds of Watum. I don't have to play Winds of Watum. These will get pulled. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait. Even though I have the energy, I could just play. But let's just see the effect. No, what if we top deck another one? There's only 2 in the deck, though. I'm going to just play it. Because I have the energy. If only we had enough to get Surtur out early. Okay, Lizard. Eson. Scar's discounted. Getting pumped. Shield comes down. Scar is now further discounted. That's pretty good. It's not bad, man. Friends, that is not the worst thing I've seen today, at the very least. I think we have to go Skill Obsidian here. As much as I would like to go Thunderbolt Ross, we got to play mid. It's Claw. It's the Claw? Come on. The Claw's coming at you. You're scared of the Claw. All right. We got him. I'm not going to snap because they would leave. It's a shame you can't. I mean, you could Surtur into... I mean, you just play Agamotto. We have no created card for Eson, though. It's a little unfortunate. But we do Agamotto, we do this. Or, no. Let's let them play right. But Shongers eats this so hard. No, we just do this. No snap. Yeah, they're going to leave. Okay, so Eson pulls the She-Hulk. But we might be short, just short on generation for this deck, but the deck is working. Just lose from Sokovia. I just lost Bolts of Ballsack. I'm so upset. Also, cue the YouTube comments of people annoyed I keep saying Bolts of Ballsack, but I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Hey! Hello. I hope you enjoy. Yes, indeed. Fist bump to you. I hope you enjoy gameplay by which I'm going to pump your shield. Do I pump it into Muir Island, though? That doesn't seem like a good use of my time. But you know what? Fine, we'll do it. We pump the shield. Maybe it disappoints them. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Is this Sam Wilson at the very least? Kitty Pryde? Zebu? You know what? I gotta tell you, playing Pro X makes me feel very happy. I mean, they could eventually move this in, but not yet. We got that sweet extra energy. We have the Eson, who's gonna pull the Werewolf by Night. Do I go mid here? Do I go mid skis? Let's go mid skis. Do they Shongers us? Probably not. I actually kind of like that Flipsies animation. It's kind of nice. Got some Werewolf by Night gameplay. I don't mind it. Agamotto solo slam. How can she snap? We have initiative. Is this just Eliath mid? Do we Eliath mid? Because what they're doing is they're Shang-Chi snapping, right? They're Shang-Chi snapping. They play Eliath. They play. I play Eliath here. They Shongers. They want to pump the null because it's I snap back for 8. I'm gonna give them the juice because we're sipping on Jeff and juice. I got my Jeff on my money and my money on my Jeff. We go. This has to be Shongers. Yes. We called it, friends. We called it. We called it. Very close. Very close game with Alexander Isaac. We do take it ultimately. Eson doing enough to pull down the Werewolf by Night, but ultimately it was the Eliath. And I gotta be honest with you, I feel really dirty playing Arishem Eliath, but I have no choice, gamers. We gotta go for those dubs. Let's go, Iron Patriot. We got the Iron Lad.
Let's go.
Power 24/7. Let's go, indeed. Thank you for the support. Images of a con. Well, this is a little awkward. I guess you temporal manipulation, because what else am I going to do? We could draw more cards with images, right? Also, Zabu hitting images discounted it. If we turn everything into Iron Patriot, will we spawn another card? We could try. We could try. Let's see if it works that way. Okay, these are brand new cards, so we don't know if the on reveal will reproc. I imagine it will. Yes. Okay. Boom. Discounted, but this one's not discounted. Quinjet? Oh, we're blessed. Omega Red, bro. Okay. We have a free Iron Lad. We have a Skill Obsidian who can draw cards. I think we play Obsidian here and we temporal manipulation to get in the guy's head a bit. They never play mid, right? They always play right. I mean, we could go Iron Lad right. I mean, we want to draw cards, right? This will blow up. But Iron Lad. It lets us get that Eson. This lets us get Eson out next turn. Let's hold on to it. I don't want to blow up the Ice Cube yet. But also, these cards are so discounted that Eson doesn't really benefit us that much, does it? Bruh. How dare you? That is some upsetting gameplay. Very upsetting gameplay. And we don't even get the free Supergiant because of the Omega Red. That's crazy. Iron Lad first in case it hits Surtur into Eson. Good call, guys. Chat saved some points there. Yep. Chat's on it, baby. Oh, it's the Bolts of Ballsack, man. We're not drawing the cards, they are. Oh, it's some wave gameplay. Crossbones. Eson. Supergiant coming down. Say hello. Well, this is a little unfortunate because Crossbones is not discounted enough to play both Agamotto and Crossbones. They're likely to want to try to put power here. Do they Shongers? Well, their deck's a cook, so I have no idea if they have Shongers. I lean towards give here. No. Do we play for left? It won't pull anything. That's the problem. We needed to draw into something else that it could have copied there. My instincts are do this. This is what I instinctually believe to be correct. Let's see if I'm right. Supergiant. We have initiative, so we will reveal first. Oh, Eson mid. King Eitri. Blink. Oh! They're going to get it. How? Victory. Oh my gosh, they threw. No way. It hit Jubilee? How's it possible? You go King Eitri into Jubilee, then tie the location. That is remarkable. And they had no generated cards in their hand for Eson. We got the Bolts of Ballsack. There's no way you guys get sick of me saying Bolts of Ballsack over and over again. There's no way. Also, anybody that didn't watch the Snapchat, confused as hell. Unsure why I keep saying that. Probably kind of annoyed too. All those emotions are valid. Every one of them. All of them are absolutely valid. Oh, I can actually literally ramp into it. I don't think I ramp into it right now. It's just, that's too insane. I'm not going to play Bolts of Ballsack yet. We're going to snap though. At least we're drawing into a card we can play, which is nice. We can also images of a con. Oh, they have the Penny Arcade card back. Cool card back. They're playing Agamotto, Craven. Okay. I don't want to just throw the location. They're playing Fastos. Okay. Was not expecting some Fastos gameplay there. They could actually flip that on us, by the way. We've got our own Fastos. Now, do we play Eson? I think you have to play Fastos here into the Bolts. We could change all these from images. But Eson's going to pull it down. No. You got to play Fastos mid. So that we can images there. The problem is Eson could pull the image. We got to be very careful. Okay. So they're trying something very interesting. They're trying a Celestial style deck as well. Or, yeah, the Eternal Celestial thing. Very similar ideas. Not what we wanted. Now we can Penny Parker Eson, replicate the Penny Parker into Eson, and also have the spider. But we lose the images from being a playable play mid. But we get pretty big here. Eson might pull the spider, actually. I like the anti-venom play. That's cool. Eson pull spider. Okay, that's actually good. That's good. We 50-50'd, but images could win mid. If they snap, Hydra Bob leaves. Okay, move this, flip this. Valentina. Here. Eson gets help from the Valentina card. Ship it for 4. Come on. Let's seed Eson. Now, we're a little reliant on Valentina. But the images of Icon is going to absolutely demolish mid. They might be thinking the same thing, though. Destroyer incoming? That would be so sad. They tried to wins. Unfortunately, Eson does get the -5 still. It's Cannonball, which actually messes us up pretty hard. But actually, I think we win. So images doesn't hit the card we wanted. But by default, we're going to win left. And then Valentina comes and Eson's going to pull. Don't be a disgrace. It's Mockingbird. So that's a free 7 power. Okay, very cleanly won. Agamotto was great there. Eson was good there. Yeah. That was just a good game. Good game for 4. We take those.